Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here with Spencer from West Coast Varieties, and we are going to be talking about some crazy toners. And Spencer has been a guest on some popular videos here in the past, but today, he works at a wholesale company, sees a lot of different coins, whether they're in proof sets or mint sets or rolls, and sometimes, this is the only one that hasn't been graded. We'll pull things aside because they have some toning, but there's lots of different toning. This one's very clearly quite red. This one's from a special mint set. It's going to be a little more rainbow. We'll look at that closer, and then we see other, that's like a interesting blue toning, but we'll be walking through these coins. Thanks for joining us, Spencer. Looking forward to speaking.
Thank you.
So I guess the first thing is, basically what is your strategy with these coins, and, is it common for you to find toners, and how do you think about them generally before I ask specific questions?
So, personally, I enjoy toned coins. I think they can be absolutely beautiful. I don't personally come across the, crazy monster tone coins that, certain people would be putting out, and it's just like, oh my gosh, how do I get my hands on that? A lot of these coins I actually just pulled out from mint and proof sets that I just thought the colors are odd, and just like maybe the way that the colors are formed on the coins. I just thought they looked cool. I may have a very different eye than other people do for what they find beautiful or not, but yeah, a lot of these are just coins going through sets, and I realized like, oh, that's pretty. I'll give it a shot and see what happens.
Awesome. Well, maybe we'll get into, I was thinking there's one special mint set coin. I'll ask you about it first, then we'll do the business strike, and then we'll do the proof stuff. But
cool.
What's the story with this coin, basically? It looks pretty, but, everything from, was it right in a special mint set that you opened it up from, and what do you think it's worth? And
so this one is actually funny because it was not coming from an actual SMS set that you would get from the US Mint. This came in one of those, I guess, third-party type holders where they put a fancy design on, the plastic of the background or whatever it is. And they made their own SMS set, and this and a dime were in that set. And I just thought, wow, that's something I don't come across every day, and cracked it out, and I thought I had a chance to straight grade, and I got a 66 plus.
Yeah, no, that's great. Do you think people care about the grade on something like this, or are they purely buying it, for the true view and the toning? Or
I think the grade does help, especially it being a plus. But just the color alone, I think, is what is drawing people in, and having them spend a little money on, a pretty toned quarter.
Yeah, so this one's a little different from some of the business strikes. You mentioned some of these having odd colors. This, to me, looks like it would have come out of a mint set.
That one did come out of a mint set.
And, here, this seems like it would maybe have a different appeal than the rainbow. It's just sort of weird.
Right.
And I'm sure you see some weird toned stuff that you don't grade. What made you grade this, and what do you hope to sell this coin for?
So I chose to grade this one because I just thought the way the toning is on the coin, I just thought is unique, and it's on a Bicentennial, which I thought was pretty cool, a clad one let alone. And to be honest, when I found this coin, I keep the coins in the mint set, so I'll cut around the square part of the actual set. So when I'm seeing it in the actual set, it looks one way, and then when I actually get it back, this is how it really looks outside of the set. So sometimes, I'm not seeing everything, but I knew just the blue on that coin I thought was cool, and just the way that it is on the coin attracted me.
Sure. Do you think somebody's going to pay, 50, 100, 100,000? What's sort of your hope?
I wish someone would pay 100,000, but I don't think it's anything close to that. I think realistically, it's about $75 to $100 coin.
Nice. No, that's cool, and at that rate, probably very much worth whatever the $25 just submitted or so. And also get to have some neat inventory. This one, I thought, going through these coins ahead of filming, was one of the coolest. I don't see at least any of the green fuchsia gold. Is this also, it's a business strike coin, so
yep.
Do you know how you found this one?
So this one actually came from another set similar to the SMS quarter. It was another one where it was a third-party holder that they just made their own set, and I just thought the color was cool. I liked the fact that it was dark at one angle, but then when you hold it in at a certain angle in the light, you could see the greens pop out a bit. You could see some purple. So I just thought that was really cool. And I didn't even know anything about populations when it came to modern Lincoln cents, and how tough it could be to get a higher grade brown. At the time, I think this was a top pop, but I don't believe it is anymore.
Wow.
But it just shows that normal cheap coins like this could turn into much better profitable coins.
For sure. And maybe, I really don't know how to value this. I could see the right collector paying a bunch for it, though.
Yeah, I think, again, realistically, in my mind, if I were buying this coin, I'd be comfortable at 100 to 150. But, it all depends on who's looking at it, who needs it for a set. And so it could go upwards of that. But for me personally, that's what I would feel comfortable at.
Yeah, and I mean it is cool what toning can do to some other, not that they're mundane, but like a 1960 Lincoln penny, and I think that there's a ton of undeniable appeal to that coin.
Definitely.
Then we have this more of a rainbow look, but that's really pretty. Do Ikes come like this, or is it more rare?
Yeah, so for Ikes, it's a lot more difficult, I would say, to find coins with some, I guess, the quote unquote rainbow toning. I think I really like the toning on this. The only drawback is on the obverse, where there's, a little corrosion speck below the neckline. And to be honest, I was a little curious if it would strike rate or not because of that. But I think just the color alone, I think it pops really nicely. I would say more so the reverse is the exciting part, even though the obverse is the more desirable side of a coin. But I just like it, and for coming out of a roll and picking through just a roll and seeing like, oh, that's nice, it was worth putting in a holder or seeing if it would get in a holder.
Yeah, do you think this would clear 100 or 200 or?
I think it would easily clear 100.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and again, that also the toning, probably the sort of thing where if two people really want something or one person totally likes it,
exactly,
can go sort of wild. What's the story? This one seems a little more muted, more of a brownish look to it.
Yeah, so this coin I actually pulled out of an album, and if you notice at the right angle, you could see on the kind of forehead and cheek of Kennedy, there's a little leftover, I guess, of the lettering that was from the album. To be honest, I can't make out what it says myself. I can only guess as to what it says, but I just thought it was a cool thing that I've never seen before personally, so I figured let's see if PCGS could get the images to blow it out, and it looks great.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll have to edit back in the TrueView and check out what that looks like, but it's super cool, and I've never seen something like that. So anyways, fun, and I know probably a few people who might think that was cool to pay for it.
Yeah.
We'll now move on. Well, maybe we go in the middle. So here's a raw coin that was literally just laying on the desk that we were filming, had been pulled aside. Do you think that this would be a candidate to dip, or given the rainbow look to it? Is this like an eBay it raw, or is this definitely grade? How are you thinking about this one?
So for me, again, I would not dip it. I prefer not dipping coins if I don't have to. But I just think on modern commemoratives, finding any kind of color is a little more difficult in general. And actually, I just found this one because I was pulling a bunch of commemoratives for someone, and I had to take them all out of the packaging, and this one popped out, and I was like, oh, that's got some neat color. It might be a $30 to $40 coin outside of a holder, but I'm still debating if I'm going to submit it.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, it's definitely an interesting decision, and I think maybe the TrueView can also make or break or add some appeal on something like this. I've seen some similar coins. This has really just vibrant red toning. Why is this graded? Is it just is it like a $5 or $10 coin that becomes a $50 or $60 coin, or
yeah, exactly. So again, this is all coming from me personally, and what I would like to see in my own set. So a coin like this, yeah, technically it's not a very expensive coin, but when I looked at it through the cellophane, I thought, oh, that's pretty cool red color in there. I'll get it holdered, I'll get a TrueView on it because I thought it would be cool. Maybe someone's making a proof set in PCGS holders that maybe they like the red color or the darker toning or just unique toning. So that's really the only reason why I had it graded.
No, I mean, it's fun to just basically realized that. And I think that there's a lot of like discretion that people can use. This was actually, we have a really cool video out on 1970 proof set. These two were in there. I think slight toning here, and that isn't really the reason, but maybe partially why it was graded. But then especially like something like that, you know, on the large date, and just for clarity, this is the small date, so that's why that's good. This one's much more target toned. You know, how much premium do you think that that's gonna have added to this coin?
I think if I were to retail this coin, it'd probably be about a $40-$50 coin at most. Again, it's just the eyes of the beholder.
Yep.
A lot of times, like the closer to the target toning or bullseye toning a coin can have, especially on modern coins, it's I would say not the most common thing. You know, these come out of proof sets, straight out of proof sets. So, you know, to me, it's worth spending a few bucks to have it graded and, you know, get nice images, and someone else could add it to their collection.
Totally. And it's also interesting just from my perspective, like how there's often, it seems a little higher value on like the special mint set or the, you know, regular mint state versus the proof toning, because the proof toning comes in a little weirder.
Right.
But
definitely depending on the coins, like the SMS quarter, I would say it's a little more difficult in general to find you know, that type of toning on it. Like whereas this coin, the 76S proof, these are actually pretty notorious for having this kind of toning straight out of the proof sets, and most of the time that's where I find them, and I just pop them out. And again, it's strictly just because I think it looks cool. Doesn't mean anyone else will, but I like it, so.
Totally. I mean, there's definitely more than one person who likes it, because I think these coins are awesome. I have to say my favorite one is probably still that Lincoln penny, but really enjoyed. I don't know if there's other commentary in terms of, you know, from the business perspective, like do these actually, yeah, there's a question, you know, do you try to price these like high with a buy it now and best offer, or
So generally, I like to think of it as what would I be willing to pay myself for any of these coins, and that's pretty much how I price them out. I don't necessarily do best offers or do a lot of auctions. I kind of just leave it up there, put it at a price that I think it's worth, and that I would feel comfortable paying myself for. And, you know, sometimes stuff will sit for a while, but you just are waiting for the one person who finds it just as attractive as I do.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for sharing your insight from all, you know, what you've done, and years of experience looking at this sort of thing. So I always appreciate highlighting you on the Treasure Town channel.
I always appreciate it, Christian. Thanks.
Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Treasure Town, and get in touch with me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, check out my website, treasuretowncoins.com, for news and updates related to the channel and collectibles in general. Lastly, there's a link tree in the description with links to all of my other sites, as well as some affiliate links that can support the channel. But with that being said, have a great day, and I'll hope to see you on some of my videos in the future.